the government hasn't said it's starting the Vision 2020. If you recall, I said this plan will cover 2016 to 2020. It's a 5-year plan. And they actually call it the successor plan. It was supposed to be the successor to the last NIP. But because it's going to integrate both the existing Vision 2020 as well as the priorities of the current administration. Remember a lot of promises they made during the election era, as well as the SDGs, which were not captured. The SDGs captured bits of the MDGs, but the Vision 2020 captured bits of the targets but this government is also prioritizing the SDGs. So the new plan is going to integrate the remnant, the 5 final years of the Vision 2020, integrate the policy priorities of this administration, as well as key targets from the SDGs. The process has started, and you say, why is civil society not involved? Well, they can't come to civil society with plain blank sheets. If you remember how the news also went, there was a draft that came from Soludo and team, which civil society now critiqued. And so they have to have something to believe in. They will not come with a blank sheet. So that's my response to that. But there's also the need to, why we're even bringing this information to civil society, is for civil society to be ready to just participate, and not just participate for the sake of participation, but be able to have the capacity to actually make useful input. Sub-national level, I think that question has been answered in terms of so much focus on the federal government, but the state governors are getting allocations, and nobody is tracking what they are doing, except for a few of our brother CSOs here. So I totally agree with that a lot of focus needs to go to the governors. That was when I had most of the governors talking about the excess food account, how it's been depleted. My reaction was, first, yes, we need to know how much has been spent from it, but none of the governors, and nobody is asking the governors to even account for the shares that they got from it. So they just, all the ways are going in one direction. But nobody was asking the governor, yes, okay, we'll deal with the federal government, but after we're done with the federal government, please tell us all the allocations you've got in the 5 years, what you've done with that money. Of course, the ECA is part of what the governors call their pocket money, including the overhead and security goals. Now, what do we expect now that, budgets and planning are being integrated? Well, it shows that the government is interested in linking policy, plans, budgets, M&E, and performance management. That is what it appears to me. Even though it wasn't our recommendation, if I were personally to advise, I would have advised that the entire, you don't just match the budget or match the plan, just go the whole hog and match the Ministry of Finance, budget and planning, and put it under one minister. So that one minister has both macro-fiscal and control, and even control the implementation of the budget itself. Old system, why don't you review what is wrong with the old system instead of adopting a new system? Well, I think I tried to answer that, and I said that I traced it back to when Bode Agosto introduced medium-term expenditure framework and the medium-term cycle strategy. And I said that Bode Agosto at the same time was thinking of running what you call performance-based budgeting on this medium-term approach to planning and budgeting. And that started, but he never really took it after about 2 years. And I also said that his successor, Bright Okogo, also tried to implement what we call program-based budgeting. And now this government is releasing them. For all of these approaches to budgeting, each of them will have rode on the back of the medium-term approach to planning. He wouldn't have discarded. But Bode Agosto wouldn't have discarded the MTEL because he wanted to run performance-based budgeting. Neither would have Bright Okogo done away with the MTEF and the medium-term plans because of that approach. So I said that the same thing is happening now. This government hasn't said it's doing away with the MTEF. It does not say it's doing away with the Fiscal Responsibility Act. And it's talking about even having a broad economic blueprint, a 5 million plan to actually drive the budget for the lifespan of this administration. So it is not discarding what is actually on the ground, but it's actually meant to strengthen it.
Thank you.
I think
that's about it.
Okay.
That's about it. Thank you very much, Austine. Let's hear from Oga at the top, and then we'll go for lunch.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon once again. Please let me start with the observation of the 1956 Act how to go about it is usually in the Audit Act. Because the Audit Act is a book of its own. And even the developing nations, despite having it in their constitution, they still have the Audit Act. Believe you me, the youngest nation in the world today, which is South Sudan, is operating with an Audit Act. Because in that Audit Act, you are likely to see sanctions for defaulters. Let me give you an example. In Sierra Leone, if a particular MDA refused to respond to the query of the Auditor-General within 21 working days, the Auditor-General for Sierra Leone has the power to instruct the Minister of Finance to say, stop releases to this particular ministry. In Nigeria, you don't have that power to do it. So this is why we are emphasizing on the Audit Act. We are very sure we know what is in the Constitution. But thank you for that observation. Somebody is mentioned about the issue of submission of reports to Auditor-General or thereabout. For this gathering, let me shed more light. You see, the work of the Auditor-General is being done in two parts, part 1 and part 2. In all the core MDAs, there are resident federal auditors in those MDAs that audit the financial activities of that MDA on a daily basis. At the end of every month, they collect their observations. So by the end of that year, they have all the observations for that particular financial year, which is being collated. Then the statement of account from the Accountant General of the Federation itself takes an average of 3 months for him to prepare. So by the time he prepares and submits to the office of the Auditor-General, the Auditor-General will now work on that. The outcome of the Part A and that of the Part B forms the audit report for the financial year of the Federation. So this is how it goes. Then somebody is talking about the response of the federal government on the need of the office. Since we are in a civilian dispensation, for the past 16 years, the National Assembly will say, bring your budget as you want it. Keep the envelope aside. Let us know what are your needs. We prepare it in volumes. We take it to PAC. We discuss it with them. And they will say we will see the best we can do with the executive arm to make sure that at least they release these things. Believe you me, if at all anything happens, maybe once or twice or something almost significant. And the response will be, well, we'll keep on struggling on your behalf until the government is able to do something. Then somebody said, why is the National Assembly not making the report public? Frankly speaking, this is a question I cannot answer on their behalf. The mandate of the office is to prepare that report and submit to them. Why they are doing it, why they are not making it public, only they can answer that question.
But is it not possible that as you send a copy to them, yes, you also send publish a copy on your website?
No, the Constitution does not allow that. The Constitution says, prepare your report and submit to the National Assembly.
Does it forbid you? That's what he said. He said that it forbids them from publishing, but I think
previous Auditor-Generals used to publish it. And if you go to your website, your 2007 report is there. So what suddenly made the current Auditor-General to stop? What made him to stop? The law never said you shouldn't publish. Your audit report for 2007 is on your website. Why did you stop?
Well, you know, everybody has his own way of doing things.